What up, guys? Welcome back to another Bodega Boys video. Get you my update on how my team's playing. As you can see right now, we're in the Diamond 374. So we were in the Perfect League last week. Dropped down. Team couldn't hit. We're back in the Diamond, and let's take a look at how we're faring so far. If we pop right over to the standings, you can see me over here. We're 500. We're playing. Started the season 0-4, I believe. Randy Johnson, who I will flip over now into my bullpen. Now, if I go over to my pitching staff, I am going to go over my roster today. And then next week, I'm going to tell you guys the thoughts for why I have guys where they are exactly, but just to give you a little idea of how the start of the season went and why it's so bogus. Randy Johnson is just unbelievable stat-wise. But the thing about him, when you move him over to the bullpen, he gets even better. So he gets more stuff in addition to his crazy control, movement, stamina. I mean, he's amazing. So he's just among the best pitching cards you can have in the game. The first 2 games of the season, he had like 0.1 inning pitch, and he gave up 3 earned runs. And then the next game, he did the same thing. So for that to happen in back-to-back opening games of the season, it's just so bogus. And since then, he has been lights out, so it's starting to even out. But like, my slump from last season just is hanging over into the season. You can also see it in my lineup as well when we get into that. But my guys just aren't hitting yet. If I take it back to the standings and I just hover over my team, you can see where we rank in the league. My pitching has been great so far. As you can see, the ERA, we're ranked 4th in the league. Ks, we're ranked 1st. I mean, that's great. And as you can see, we're hitting for power again. We're tied for 5th in the league in home runs. Last season in the Perfect League, we were also up there in home runs, but I didn't base this team to try to hit home runs. I based this team to have hit for contact and have good eyes. If the card also had power in it, of course, that's a bonus. But for me, that was my thinking when I made my lineup. So the fact that the average is 21st and the runs are 16th, it's terrible for where we should be. But we'll get there. So today I want to take you through my team and how we're built. So I guess we'll go over the lineups first, and I'll take you over here to let's just look at the graphical chart. I guess it's a little nicer visual for you guys. And I don't know where we'll start. I guess we can start right here at the catcher. I have Josh Gibson as my catcher, and like I said, next week I'll go over my lineups and where I have guys and why I have them there. But I'm trying to keep videos to about 5 minutes or under. So I'll go over my team today, and the next week we'll go over my lineups and my pitching staff and why I have guys where I have them. But I will go over the cards a little bit. Josh Gibson's amazing. This is one of the hardest cards for me to put in my lineup because everybody knows I love Mike Piazza. So for me to take Piazza off my roster was hard, but this card is just so much better. I am thinking about putting Piazza back on the bench, but I do have Johnny Bench here as Josh Gibson's backup. And the reason I do that is because he's got amazing defense. He's not the best offensive player, but his defense is amazing. So what I do is every game, late innings, he's my defensive replacement. He'll come in with that amazing, sure-handed defense and close out those tough games. And in my first season, it worked perfectly. They were bringing him in a lot, but last season we haven't been winning, so we haven't had the opportunities to use him in that role as much. But it's still my idea for how I want my team to run. So that's why I have him as the defensive replacement. So they'll bring him in late in the game. Even though Gibson's a good defender too, but my point is, if I get Piazza in there, he's a much worse defender, but he's a better hitter. I think his defense is about 75. He doesn't have a good arm, but then it is about 50 games of a catcher who hits for more power and contact. So these are the things you have to balance with your team. And I don't want to get too much into that side of things because I want to go through my roster today. Again, I have Pujols over here at first base. He's here for my defense. I like him because he hits for contact and power, but I love him because he has that 89 defense. You don't find that much at first base. It's very hard to find a good defensive first baseman. Jimmy Fox is my backup there. He's just a solid hitter. Jackie Robinson, best second baseman in the game. A lot of people move him over to short or third base. I love him at second base. He's made to do it. Highest defense there. He's amazing. Sandberg is my second base, third base backup. Solid hitter, good defender at both positions. That's why I keep him there. A-Rod's my easy choice, best shortstop in my opinion in the game. A lot of people go with Cal Ripken. You see a lot of, you do see a lot of variability there. Like there's a ton of players, but why I like him is he fits into my mold. He plays great defense and he hits for contact power, and he has a good decent eye, so he does get on base a lot. He's pretty good on the base pass. He had a 40-40 season for me once, which is awesome. And I got a lot of perfect points when he had that. That was why it was so dope. But he's my choice there. I got Honus Wagner as my backup, just an obvious choice. Pretty good player all around. Napoleon is my third baseman. I got rid of Mike Schmidt last year. Napoleon is a natural second baseman, but in this perfect league, how it works, you can play if the game considers certain positions to be learnable. So he was a second baseman with a great defense, as you can see, 118 to start. I put him over there at third base. He can learn the position. So as you can see right now, if you look up here and to the right, he's up at a 103 now. He started out as a 0, but he's played a full season for me. So he's a great third baseman defensively. He hits for contact power. He's just a great overall player. So he hasn't hit yet for me. I know he will. So we're going to be deadly when he starts hitting. He's a great player, and I'm excited to see how high his third base defense gets, because I know second base to third base is an easy transition in the game, so you can get a lot of additional defense out of that. So I have Sandberg back in him too. I'll take you to right field, and I'll tell you why DiMaggio's over there, because I did what I did with Napoleon. I took DiMaggio from his natural fielding position at center field to right field, which he got a boost in defense. He went up from 87 to 100 in right field. He's a great hitter overall. He's an obvious choice for my right field. The only other thing I've been thinking about doing is maybe grabbing Ken Griffey and putting him in right field, because Ken Griffey's got 120 defense at center field, so that'll probably go up to, like, I don't know, 140, 50 in right field, and I've never seen defense that high in right field. Because I've seen Andrew Jones at center field rated like 120, but I've never seen anyone put him in right field, so I'm sure he could go high. But Griffey's such a good hitter. He's almost as good as DiMaggio's card, and I mean, if DiMaggio started out as an 87 defense in center field, when I brought him to right, he got up to 100. So imagine Griffey starting at 120. I mean, shoot, he could go so high. I mean, his score could go crazy high. So, and that kind of defense is just so important. And that brings me back to my point. If I don't decide to do that, I might go back to Roberto Clemente. I used to have Roberto Clemente in right field, but I took him out because he doesn't have a great eye. He strikes out a ton, but he hits for such contact, and his defense is 120 in right field, that I might bring him back, because what I'm realizing is in these higher leagues, it's so hard to make contact. Those good contact hitters are really good, but it will be tough to take DiMaggio out because he's another great hitter, and he's still a good defender. So that's DiMaggio out there. I have Shoeless Joe as his backup along with Babe Ruth. Willie Mays is my center fielder. Best in the game. Love him there. Barry Bonds is backup, but he's my starter in left field. I used to have Ricky Henderson. I switched over to Barry Bonds because I felt Barry Bonds had a better eye. He was a little better of a defender. He hit, and he's just a better hitter, period. So with the eye for my team, like, I felt like Ricky Henderson was a terror on the base pass when I had him. He had 110, 120 stolen bases from me every year, but I just feel like he would not, because his contact was a little lower, he just wouldn't get, some seasons he'd hit 210, so even if you're taking a ton of walks, you know, your on-base percentage isn't going to be that high. Whereas Barry Bonds has the potential to have an on-base percentage very high. Look at him right now, 418, like, that's his potential every season. So he's just always going to be on base, and because my team naturally just has the power built into it, and they hit for doubles and home runs, he's just gonna, even though he's not blazing fast, he's gonna get around the base pass and score if he's on base. So that's my thinking there, at least. I do have, if I take you over here to lineups overview, you can see my I do have Shoeless Joe as my DH versus right-handed hitters because he has amazing contacts versus righty. I switch it up a little bit and go for a little more power versus lefties. I don't really know if that's if I'll change that at some point, but I have Babe Ruth in there. I might sell Babe Ruth and Shoeless Joe and work towards getting a better replacement overall for them. I think that's probably my best option at this point, but we'll get to that in the future. For my starting rotation, I got Satchel Paige, Pedro Martinez, Greg Maddux, Dazzy Vance, Roger Clemens as 5. As you can see, I got all righties in the starting rotation so that I can have an all lefty bullpen and get that edge there. Lefty Grove, Sandy Koufax, Randy Johnson, Carl Hubble, Al Holland, Hiller, and Guidry. Now, the reason I have lefties here is because lefties get my lefty pitchers that I had will get about a 20-point stuff increase when you bring them from the starting rotation to the bullpen. So that's why I got him over there. If you're wondering why is Randy Johnson, Sandy Coe, why are these guys sitting over Roger Clemens? There's a lot that goes into the decisions in this. I mean, I know that what you would obviously think, but I'm gonna get into more of that explanation, the X and O's of this stuff, next week in the next video. But I mean, so far we'll see after the first day and back down in Diamond. We're 13-13, only a couple. I mean, 4.5 games back. It's so early. I'm not worried at all. I checked the team. It's not better than mine. Like when you look at them, it's good, but all these teams are arguably good. So this is my like worst starter, and that's his first starter, Tom Seaver. I sold Tom Seaver seasons ago. You know, so my rotation, he's got the 99 version of Greg Maddux, not the 100 version. So like it's a big drop off in talent. So I expect the sim probabilities are in my favor to beat that team. But we'll see how we do. And if you look back at the scores and schedule, we got a couple 12th inning win there by 1 and 10th inning, some heroics lately, but you know, some ups and downs, just 500 so far. You can see they start to get hot, then they lose a bunch, so it's just been a weird couple seasons for these boys, so we'll see how they go. All right, thanks for tuning in, and I'll check you guys in a little bit.